Welcome back to the channel. This year we're gonna try to get back to making some videos and filming content on a more regular basis. Right now we got plenty we can film. Right now, today, I'm pulling the motor out of this car. This is a little Camaro. This thing was sitting up in the weeds. I don't think we did any videos of it just because we didn't have the time, and we kind of threw this car together to, you know, get it where I could go race 30 minutes from the house. And Dad had this car sitting in his house, so it was in pretty rough shape. So we did a whole lot of work to this thing in about a week, took it out to race, and the first night out in it, had their own gear in the car. This class at Lakeview, it's called Stock V8. And, you know, it's kind of it's a good class. Pretty affordable class. Wish there was a little bit more motor rules just to kind of keep some people from spending a lot of money, but at the same time, they got a 5,600 max RPM rule, which they make us run these MSD rev limiter boxes, which you'll see in one of these series videos as I'm getting the Lakeview car ready. So this is a leaf spring car. It's a 70s, late 70s, early 80s Camaro. It's pretty daggone good, not gonna lie. But first night out, I think we finished like 6th, and we were running out of gear right there. We were on the chip before the flag stand on the front stretch. So car definitely had a lot more in it, but I think hammering the motor, and the motor had been sitting. We actually pulled the motor out, took it up to, as everybody knows, old Mr. Michael Rouse, and had it fixed up, and he found some big problems in it. So we ended up racing one time, like the last race at Lakeview, and we had a good run. I think we finished 5th or something like that. And I haven't put any, other than the front end, I'm big on my front end stuff, and I went through the front end, but I didn't buy any springs for this car. I have no clue what springs are in this car at all. It's never been on scales or anything like that. We just threw lead on it to basically where we thought it needed to be. And, you know, it was just for fun. And that just for fun turned into spending a lot more money. And you know how racing is. So now I bought a metric car. So these chassis are basically like Thunder Bomber chassis. So I ended up buying a metric chassis, which is a Thunder Bomber car, and that's going to be my Lakeview car next year, which right now it's just a roller, no body, nothing on it. It's got a deck, and like I said, you'll see that in a later video. And then also got rid of my 602 late model. Well, technically, I got rid of the older Barry Ride I had that I bought at the beginning of the season last year, and I traded that with a 604 in it, but it wasn't 100% race ready. Didn't have shocks, so I still have my 604 shocks. I actually still have another 604. 602 is now in this car. So when we want to go play, we can go run with this other Barry Ride we have, which we've had a couple years. Really good car. Posted it for sale and kind of instantly regretted it, but ended up taking it down. But as y'all can see, this isn't on my tires right there for the late models, but I got 20-something brand new American racers for the late model. Unfortunately, there's no crate racing stuff where I live now. I live down in Ainer, South Carolina. I'm 30 minutes from Lakeview Motor Speedway, and they run limiteds on a weekly basis. Fayetteville just shut down, which I wouldn't go to Fayetteville because the biggest reason is I'm not going to spend $285 a tire to go run when I can go run other places on a tire that costs me $185. So it's just where I have to make sense and justify what I'm spending to go race, and that's kind of just where it lies. But we're going to strip this Camaro today, get the motor, transmission, and the gear out. I already started on getting the motor, disconnected, got, everything on top done. So now all I got to do is get it under the car, pull the drive shaft, take the shifter linkages off, disconnect the throwout bearing, and then I got to pull the gear out. And then I get to, I got to change the spool in the gear to a 31 spline because the new car has a floater. This car doesn't. It's just bolt-in axle. It's just a 9-inch that we had laying around. So when we initially started out with this car, it had a 10 bolt in it, and I ended up putting a 9-inch in it that we had in a car up there at my dad's. So this was kind of all a snowball effect of my dad's idea of like, hey, I know you're tired of driving 4, 5, 6 hours. Come get this car and go race, and that's what we're doing. And now it's snowballed down into getting a Thunder Bomber because I want to be able to still travel and race. There's not a whole lot of 602 racing around here, so that kind of left me with going the Thunder Bomber option, and I can basically go race and have fun, not spend a ton of money. Like some of those guys probably spend a fortune, but in that class, I don't think you can really. When you're spending money like that, it's just to make your cars nicer. And if y'all have been around a while, I can do all that making nice stuff myself. So that's our plan for 2026. We're going to be running stock V8 at Lakeview. I think we're going to try to run for points there, and running the 602 late model when we can. We'll probably still go up to width, and we were tossing the idea around of going down to Screven, but like I said earlier, really going to depend on if they let American racers run, because it's kind of silly for me to go spend, $1,500-$1,600 on 6 tires to go down there and race. And the worst thing is I'd have to get the tires ready when I get to the track, and I'm not, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The only way I'll do it is if Mr. Mike, the guy that's been sponsoring us for 5 years now, I don't know, it's hard to keep, we're 2026 will be 5 years of knowing Mr. Mike and having him help us out. So if he's able to go down there, get in his motorhome, go down there, and we get to go hang out with him, then it's worth every penny to go buy tires and go race. However, if he's not in the position where he can make the trip down there, then I probably won't end up going down there and racing. But you never know with me. I say one thing and I do the opposite the next day. So I think that's just how all us racers are. But anyhow, we're going to get to work on this car and start getting all the pieces we need off of it to put on the other car. And I don't know what the plans are for this Camaro yet. We've been tossing around a couple different ideas. We talked about selling it. I don't necessarily want to sell the car. I know Taylor doesn't want to sell the car. I don't know why, but she's in love with this car, and she doesn't want to sell it. So I told her, I said, well, if you love it so much, why don't you race it? And I told her I'd get her a motor, and she said her stipulation was it had to have an automatic in it. Which really isn't a problem. I think it actually worked out really good at Lakeview with that rev limiter box. And but there's another car up there. It's actually my granddaddy's car, and he's got a car up there with a Power Glide that's actually already got the steel bell housing and everything on it, because that's kind of the weak link on those. So we might try putting a Power Glide in this car with just basically a stock old 350 and seeing if it works. But I mean, it'll just be for her to go out there and have some fun, and I think that'd help her a lot, just have something to go have fun with. But she's got some other stuff, and we'll go over it with her a little later in this video, what she's got going on nowadays. And yeah, so appreciate you guys coming back. It's been a while. I'm gonna try to get back to making some content. Life just kind of got hectic there. We moved, and we weren't racing a whole lot because we were having to drive. I think the closest track to us that ran 602s like on a weekly basis was maybe like Warren's. I wanted to try to run that red clay 602 series, and a lot of those races just ended up being a little bit farther away than what I could make with my schedule. Working 50 to 60 hours a week is sometimes a little hectic, and be honest, it's pretty rough, but we tend to make it work, and thankful for the place I work. Love working where I work, and anyhow, I'm gonna stop getting up here and just running my mouth, and we'll get to work here real quick. All right, motor is now in the old Lakeview car. Just got to throw the transmission cross member back under it. A little bit different than a late model, but I will say it's kind of nice being able to have the motor and transmission mated together and throw it in there as one unit. But we're gonna get this thing dropped in tonight, and then we're gonna take a break for the day. Been out here for about 12 hours a day. Finally had a day off work to get some work done. As you can tell, this car needs plenty of work. So we're gonna get it though. We're gonna get it slowly but surely. And then old late model over there, I'm gonna show her some love this season and get it. As you can see, we got a new nose laid up on the old nose. We gotta get this car running and driving so we can get it out of the way, or at least be able to push it out of the shop so I can put a body on that car. I already got everything except the deck, basically. I got to make a quarter panel, fenders, a filler panel, and then I already have everything else made for it. That I actually built for the master built, but that was 2 years ago. Welcome back. We had to take a break. We were waiting on some parts for the Lakeview car, and then yesterday I had a little adventure to go on. I had to go meet a guy in Georgia, which will be on another video, but we're back to work on the Lakeview car. Today I'm going to be trying to get the seat mounted and get the shifter moved where I want it, because I'm trying to get the seat as far back as I can get it to get my rear percentage better. This car is already built about the main cage on it's built about a foot farther forward than the way I would want it, or the way I would have built it, or the way cars are being built today. So I'm already gonna have to struggle with that. So right now I'm trying to get my body as far back as I can get it, with mounting the seat far back. And then I already got the motor in, motor runs. I got the new spool for the rear gear. I gotta change that because this car's 31 spline, the Camaro was 28 spline. And I gotta build a radiator shroud, and I gotta do something to mount the radiator. Haven't come up with exactly how I'm gonna do it yet, but I have a pretty good idea of how I'm gonna do it. If I can make it happen or not, that's gonna be the question. And then I gotta build exhaust for it. But other than that, I had to fight those headers in. I don't think I got any of that on video. I pulled this motor out 3 times because I put the motor in, headers wouldn't go in. So I lifted the motor back up, somehow got the headers in there, and I had to take the starter off to get the headers in there. So when I went to go put the starter back on, it decided it wasn't gonna fit. So luckily I had a mini starter on this motor, and I had to take the starter apart, put it inside the header, and then put the starter back together and and then install it. So kind of tricky. And then I had a couple of fittings I was waiting on. So I needed a bulkhead to come out of the firewall for my throwout bearing for the clutch. And then I needed a 90 because on this car, I would change the power steering pump location. So I got a head mount power steering pump instead of having it mounted down on the block like on the 55 Chevy engine mounts on the front of the motor. But I like it on the, I don't know if it's just because it's easier to do, or I really don't know. I've always liked the head mount stuff better when I've ran racing pumps. I know it's a heck of a lot easier to get to adjust it and all that, because you don't have to bend over and get under the car and all that kind of stuff. So I had that that mount laying around, so I went ahead and put it on. Actually, that mount and pump, I had it sitting in a tote, so got it on. So I mean, right now it's about as race ready as I can get it, because I got all my wiring done, and at Lakeview we got to run it's an MSD rev limiter, so they can limit the RPMs or whatever, and they got a 5,600 RPM rule. And I'll show that to you. At Lakeview, you got to run this box here, and it's got to be mounted on the firewall. And I just made me a little mounting plate and welded it to the bottom of that deck bar. Kind of going back and thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have done that, just in case, you know, that deck bar gets moved. I don't want that box to get broke. But basically, you can't see, I had to toggle my wires up here. Per the rules, you can't modify the harness at all, so that's what we got. But I wish I could have shortened those wires up and just repinned it, but hey, gotta do what the rule book says. And I mean, like, I got it now, it works. But there's a lot of stuff on this car I need to just go over, because like there's stuff like that, and I don't really like that too much, because that could end a race. Main power wire, you know, going through. So once we get this car, my plan is I'm gonna get it running and driving, and then I'm gonna start on the body. The body shouldn't take me too long, but I've got a lot of work to get done. Don't have a lot of time to get it done, because we're putting a deck and a body, the whole everything on the late model. But that's why I need to get this car out of here, so I can have enough room to work on that car, because that car is going to explode a little bit, and I'd rather have it where I can, you know, put this Lakeview car outside, and I can start just building the body in the shop at night. So I got light, I got all that. That way I can get it done pretty quick. But yeah. Anyhow, we're gonna bring you guys with us, and hopefully get something done today. Alright guys, so I got my seat mounts in today. I got the shifter relocated. Got to figure something out on my pedals, because like I said, I'm trying to move the entire seat back as far as I can get it, and I got short legs, so I'm gonna have to either remount the pedals, which isn't really ideal. Kind of be a pain to do it, because they'll eventually run into the steering shaft. So unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna have to try to make some like extensions for my pedals, but I'll be able to figure it out and get that taken care of. And then tomorrow I got to bring home my top and die set out of my toolbox at work, so I can make my rods, my shifter linkages, and my throttle linkage. And then I've got to come up with a plan on how to mount the radiator. Instead of trying to make the upper mount different, it'd be easier just to move the lower mount up on it, so I can get the radiator higher where it should go. So got to get that done, and then I can bolt the seat in, put my seat belts in. I can bolt the seat in for good. And yeah, now I'm just I'll probably be done for the night, because I gotta wait for this paint to dry. But I went ahead and made my patches for the floor pan, and I think they turned out pretty good. Shifter mount turned out pretty good. Forgot the video while I was doing all this, but hey, trying to get back in swing of things, so cut me some slack. But I'll show you real quick what I got done. Upper seat mount. So I have another plate that'll mount to that straight plate on the back of the seat here. So I actually had that made up for this seat already, and that's why I went with it. And then as you can see right here, I moved the shifter back, made me a little mount for the shifter, and then I patched it all together with some sheet metal. And then my lower seat mount, because I'm a little bit short, I had to raise the bottom of the seat up a little bit, got it where I wanted it, and then now all I got to do is drill my holes in there. Some of that thing right there looks like Swiss cheese, boy. But next I'll be able to we'll be moving our pedals from here back towards the driver, and hopefully I can get it where I can reach them. But that's all we're gonna get done tonight. All right, just got the radiator final mounted. Well, kind of. I'm gonna have to build a fan shroud, obviously. She's in there sturdy. Put some nut certs on my hold down plate. I had to move the bottom radiator mounts up about 2 3/4 inches, something like that. So that's all good now. Now I'm gonna start working on a shaker spring or screen. So I got this one right here. So I gotta whip up some mounts to put on both sides so it can sit there and shake all the mud off of it. Because we all know Lakeview tends to be a little hammered down. So I'm gonna make sure we can keep all the mud out of the radiator. All right, so I had to whip up a couple little tabs here. They turned out pretty good. Both sides there. And then this will just float right here. These springs keep it center. And when this thing hits down there on the lower radiator mount, like such, if there's any dirt on here, it'll just pop right off. So that's something I like to run when I can. Don't really have to be all, the mountain don't really have to be all that strong. Hopefully I don't have to cut that T-bar off, that front T-bar there that the filler panel will mount to. If I got to do that, I'll have to make some new tabs. It took me about 30 minutes to make those tabs out of some flat stock, but worked out pretty good. I did have to re-drill the screen. So this was the original hole. I didn't count for, I just measured from this hole to the top like a dummy, and I didn't account for the notch I was gonna have to make here on this square tubing. But that's done, radiator's mounted. Next order of business on this thing will be the throttle linkage and the transmission linkages for the shifter. And then hopefully tomorrow night I can get in here and I think I'm gonna tackle the exhaust and maybe the gear, and that way I can get those two deals 100% complete. I am gonna have to cut a little bit of the floorboard out, like the back seat feet area, to get my exhaust torqued up. But then I'm gonna go ahead and get the fan shroud made so that I can go ahead and start on this body. I wanted to get everything done that would be easier to get to with the body off of it. I still gotta raise my floor pan up a little bit and extend my pedals back to me. But other than that, she's basically ready for a body. And once I get the body on, I'll be able to put it on the scales, get this thing dialed in. But the next car that'll be raced is actually going to be the late model. So we're going to go run at Screven. I know probably earlier in this video or the next video or the video before this, I'm going to try to make 3 videos out of everything because we got a bunch of stuff going on. And again, when you got a bunch of stuff going on, it's kind of hard to stay on top of these videos and get them edited and posted. So long story short on this whole deal is we're going to Winter Freeze at Screven with the 602 late model since the Red Clay series got it. I really enjoy running with that series. Don't know if I'll be able to make it Friday and Saturday. That's the goal. We're going to see if we can make it work. But definitely going to go down there and run. And it kind of just goes back to the same old same with me and a late model. Because the tires are just, they're outrageous. And like I've said probably 10 times in this video, I'm not going to go buy tires when I have 20 brand new ones sitting here in the shop. So I'll go run that car when I can with the tires I already have, just because it makes more financial sense. And then we're going to be running the Thunder Bomber, which you'll see in one of these videos. We actually took it and ran it on asphalt. But we're going to go run that car at Sumter. Definitely going to Charlotte with it. They got a pretty good race at Sumter. There's a money race there. It's not too far from us. And then going to take that one to, there's a big race at Friendship, one of those series races. So we'll try to go out there and race that race and go and hang out with my buddy from work, old Tracy. But we might make a couple trips to East Lincoln. That's his home track. So we might make a couple trips up there and see if we can go chase him around old East Lincoln. But yeah, so there's only 15 races at Lakeview, which I think is I think we got a good goal to go after a points championship there. Everybody knows all you got to do to go out there and run for points is go out there and make laps and finish the best you can every week. And sometimes it gets a little sketchy because you gotta do it a little bit different. Last time we won points championship was in 2020 at Fayetteville. That's the last time we actually ran weekly at a race track itself. So I think it's going to be fun to go chase the points championship and go have some fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to going up there and just, being able to race back close to home 15 weekends this year is going to be nice. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get started on these linkages, and I'm going to have to cut them down because I ordered them way too long, which I did on purpose because I ordered them before I knew exactly where everything was going to be. And it's kind of just what I got to do because I got to have the parts here so I can get everything done in a timely fashion. Because if I get to a point and then don't have parts, then I'm going to be sitting here trying to figure out what I can be doing to get not get the parts, but what I can be doing to get the car done. And I'm trying to, like I say, I'm trying to do this thing. I'm not trying to do it all in one shot and not have to go back behind myself. And once this thing goes down on the scales, I want to be able to take this thing to the racetrack and get after it. So we got open practice at Lakeview coming up real soon. So don't have a whole lot of time to get this thing done. And then, of course, in 2 weeks, today's the 14th, I believe. So coming up very quick is February. So we got 2.5 weeks. But anyhow, I'm going to get back to work because the more I talk, the less I get done. And appreciate y'all coming back and tell your friends that we are back. We're going to be trying to do these videos. And once I get caught up on work, it'll be a lot easier to get things done, So right here you can see my riser I made. I built me a steel frame and then welded that straight to the floorboard. And then did me some fancy stuff on them pedal extensions. Got them all welded in. They don't look the best, but they should work for what I need them to. Hashtag midget problems. All right, so right here on the exhaust, I'm just running pipes. Well, I want to run them straight back and just run some turn downs, but I come off with a 90 to another 90. Had to shorten that first one up just a little bit to get my clearance. Then I got my exhaust running straight back. I did have to cut a little bit of the floor pan out, and I'm just going to lay some sheet metal back over top of it. But they're not hanging below the frame, so I think we should be pretty good. And if they hit and they rip off, oh well. I gotta make a fan shroud, and then I can start working on getting the cockpit closed in. So I'm just gonna run me a enclosure right there on the cockpit to keep the mud out instead of running crushed panels. I'm not a real big fan of crushed panels because they never really seal all the best, and you usually still end up with stuff in the car. So I think I'm gonna do that on this car. Just go ahead and just fill the cockpit in. But yeah, see if I can find some scrap sheet metal to do it with. I don't want to waste fresh sheet metal doing it, so I got some old body panels laying around we might use. All right, so to finish off the day, I got my, y'all can't see that up close. It's going to be hid by the body, but I used an old door, and it didn't really come out the way I wanted it to because I kind of rushed it. Got pissed off, hit it with a hammer a couple times, and said, oh, it's good. Got my drive shaft painted right there. It was black. And I got this fan shroud made. I didn't make a back piece to it, so I got a little overhang on these edges, but I messed up. I wasn't going to hem the front, and then I ended up hemming it, and I didn't account for the hem, so I come up short back here, and already had these made, and yeah. Screw it. It's a stock V8. It looks good enough. If I got to, I'll go in there, and I'll finagle it a little bit if I can. But I think it looks pretty good. Got the exhaust made. Like I said, I didn't have to cut out for the tailpipes just a little bit, but it's gonna work out fine. Well, this was gonna be the end of this video. As y'all can see, this is just what you can see in the shop. I got a lot of projects going on, and this is gonna end this video. The next video will pick up, start to make the body with this. Probably take me about a week if I get in here and get it done. I do know that for the doors, I'll probably have to carry those up to my dad's shop, or maybe find somebody local with a little bit bigger brake, because I only have my small brake up here, or down here where I live now, and my dad's about 3 hours away, and he's got the big 10-foot brake at his house, because I just don't have anywhere to put it down here. Working on trying to get a shop built, so if anybody near Ainer, South Carolina, knows somebody that can build a shop at a reasonable price, just concrete in the shell, and me and my dad can wire it and everything, give me a shout. I don't want to spend too much money on it, because I don't plan on being here for the rest of my life. Plan is to build a barndominium, but might take I'll have to be here for about a year, just so I don't have to pay taxes on the money I make on the house or whatever. Y'all, yeah, a bunch of like legal stuff. But anyhow, we're gonna have a fun race season, I think. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna kick it off at Screven, and then go to Friendship in February, and kind of looking forward to it, but also know I got a lot of work to get there. On this car, the late model, I got to put a body on it too, but I think I'm going to wait till after these 2 February races, just because I don't want it to be a waste of my time, and I don't want to go get a car trashed in 2 laps, and it kind of seems like that's what happens to me at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to be smart and kind of push it down the road a little bit. But I'll still have plenty of time to get that thing rebodied and wrapped and be able to take my time on it, which I got everything done for that car already. All I got to do is build a deck and a quarter panel and a filler panel, and then just cut everything down to size, and call my boy old Christian Wright, get him to send me some decals. I just got a set in for the Thunder Bomber from him, and the plan is to put the same decals on the Thunder Bomber and the Lakeview car. I don't know. I've always wanted to do it, and I really like the kind of like throwback stuff that we're doing on it. So the late model, I think I'm just going to tell him to go wild on, and, you know, make it the baddest bitch he can. So anyhow, about to shut down the shop here and go inside, and I got to reteach myself how to edit these videos, I reckon, and we got some pretty cool stuff coming up here. Stay tuned, and share it to all your friends. Also, just real quick, there's a fella that Taylor does a lot of business with his girlfriend or something like that. I believe they're like near Lawrence. Him and his dad had an accident, and they're pretty burned up, and they're in a burn center right now. So just take a minute, say a prayer for them, and I think Taylor's selling some freshies to donate the proceeds to the family, and there's another girl making some t-shirts. His name's TJ Teal. I believe his dad's name is Larry. But just take a moment, say a prayer. You know, it's free to do that. But if you want to help out, there's plenty of ways you can go about. They both race too. So also today, which is I think the 17th, one of the two. Happy birthday to Mr. Mike. He's been supporting this thing we call a race team. I don't know if that's what you want to call it, but he's been supporting me for about 5 years now. So say a happy birthday to him real quick, and drop down in the comments, tell him happy birthday. I know he'll be watching. Almost forgot, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. You know what I mean?